Lopsided on life, people. Hi, I'm John Hewlett.
And I'm Travis Smith.
And welcome to
Tech 95. Alright, this is episode 25.
Ooh, I'm sideways and I don't care. It's hip to be a square.
It actually doesn't look that bad in the preview.
It doesn't. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah, a little bit of a change. I can't do that because it's an integrated webcam. Well, anyway, I am not going to be reading much of these articles because my sinuses are having World War III. Yeah, sucks. Well, anyway, John.
We'll have to swap seats. I just realized that.
Maybe.
I can't see. We're
crap. I'll read the first one. Let's see which one are we gonna do first? Oh, by the way, if you want to hit me up on Twitter, it's at TechieT95, as you can see right there. Kabam, kaboom, 38 tweets. I know, I'm like antisocial or something.
Is that IT? Tech IT 95.
No, it's TECHIET 95.
Tech Internet Explorer Tech IE Internet Explorer.
No.
Nope. It's
nope.
evil.
That's
we
evil.
do not swear on this station, so no mentioning Internet Explorer.
Well, anyway, T-Mobile woes Verizon customers by offering phones with free trials.
That's woos, like seduces, or
Whatever.
Like, hey little boy, here's a lollipop.
Anyway, I'll read the first couple paragraphs, but I'll give it to you in a nutshell at the moment, in case you want to skip ahead. Please don't skip ahead. We love you guys.
Okay, shoot.
So basically, you can go to T-Mobile and say, I want a free trial of said phone.
What's a said phone?
A said phone.
I know. I like a said phone. What's that?
Well, anyway, basically you can get up to 14-day free trial with a T-Mobile phone, and if you like it, then they'll switch you over. And then if you don't like it, T-Mobile will pay for... basically, T-Mobile will refund you any charges that you made while you own the phone. So basically, T-Mobile is going directly after Verizon subscribers in the latest attempt to win over customers from the competition.
Like a boss.
It's not a horrible idea if you ask me.
I said, like a boss.
I kind of came up with this idea originally, but hey, my ideas get stolen all the time.
So do mine.
So starting May 13th, which
you ever
is
heard of the Chevy Volt? That was me.
battery operated.
Stupid General Motors took my idea.
Yeah. Starting May 13th, T-Mobile will introduce a campaign dubbed Never Settle. The carrier announced on Tuesday, and here's how it works. So basically, Verizon subscribers can port their existing phone number to a T-Mobile phone, which they can use for free up to 14 days, as I mentioned earlier. Here, I'll move the mic so we don't get... There we go. So after the 14-day trial, customers who decide to stick with Verizon can return the T-Mobile phone. T-Mobile will then refund any costs incurred during the trial and any costs for resuming service with Verizon. So basically, if you like them, cool. But if you don't, T-Mobile's got you covered. Up to like $650 or something. Anyway, let's read on. Customers who opt out, or customers who opt to jump ship to T-Mobile, however, can trade in their existing Verizon phone and keep the new T-Mobile phone. In return, T-Mobile will foot the bill for any outstanding payments on the device or any early termination fees up to $650. Seriously? What are you doing? What are you doing?
You're reading. I'm trying to figure out what this is.
Oh. Either way, Verizon customers can try out the new promotion without having to pay anything. It's a good idea in my opinion.
Oh, it's a desoldering tool. Continue, I'm sorry.
People can also choose not to trade in their existing Verizon phone, a T-Mobile spokesman told CNET. A trade-in is required only if the customer wants T-Mobile to cover the costs of Verizon's early termination fee or other expenses associated with the contract. So yeah, I like that idea, quite honestly. It gives customers another option, like if you aren't sure whether you really like the service, because T-Mobile's had quite a...
Experience.
Yeah. I used, from my experience, I used a, Metro PCS LG Optimus L9 phone for, what was it, 9 months? Something like that. Anyway.
We used Verizon phones for a while, and they just...
Yeah. Basically...
The one I had was a piece of crap, though,
If...
to be honest.
If you... Sorry. My voice is going horrible on me. So bear with me.
By the end of the episode, you're probably going to be all like this.
No, not quite. It's just sinus crap. Anyway. So yeah, back to what I was saying. I had a Metro PCS phone for a little while, and basically the experience was for me, basically if you went like 3 miles out of any major city, you would lose service.
You were screwed.
Yeah, you would lose service. And then in my house, because we got like a umpteen billion-year-old house, and basically if you go inside, all service drops. And good thing the phone had Wi-Fi calling, which Wi-Fi calling is where you can use the Wi-Fi. Excuse me. Your existing home Wi-Fi as kind of like a cell tower. You can use your number and then be able to call over Wi-Fi. So yeah, that was pretty cool. That was the only thing that pretty much saved it for a while. Okay. Next topic.
Alright. Coming.
You want to read it?
Excuse me. Yeah. Scoop. Have to swap seats.
Yeah, I gotta swap seats real quick.
So, Apple sets guidelines for creating Apple Watch bands. That sounds kind of cool. Key feature of Apple's new smartwatch is the ability to switch bands, and Apple is telling third-party developers how to design them.
Precisely how to do it. And what are the requirements, John?
A 2-inch wrist and a 5-inch hand. I don't know what that was. I'm sorry. Apple wants to make sure the bands designed for third parties designed
I shall be back.
Designed by... Where are you going?
I gotta go do something.
Oh. In layman's terms, he probably has to go below his nose. A new page on Apple's website called Creating Bands for Apple Watch is aimed specifically at developers who want to get in on the watch band bandwagon. The page specifically links to a 13-page document called Band Design Guidelines for the Apple Watch, with the do's and don'ts of creating an Apple Watch band. Shoot. Guidelines are important for developers to follow, as Apple has promised that owners of its new smartwatch can easily swap out bands. But you can't just swap out your existing band for a generic one that you'd find in any retail store.
You're mumbling.
Hmm?
I say you're mumbling, the mic won't pick it up.
But you can't just swap out your existing band for generic ones. So that you'd find in any retail store. The bands for the Apple Watch are proprietary, so developers must follow Apple's guidelines in order to ensure that their straps will be approved and certified for the watch. There's a couple watch bands from third parties that are already available, like Casetify, for example, offers a $50 band.
What?
A $50 band for which you can custom design the look, and a stainless steel band from MyCell is selling for $244.49.
I know for some people that doesn't sound like a whole lot, $50 for a wristband for your watch, but in all reality...
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Unless you're getting like a $2,000 Rolex watch,
Then again, you gotta remember, these are people who buy Apple products. They pay ridiculous prices anyway.
I know, $1,500 or $1,000 for a basic computer that is just as powerful as the one I currently own.
Basically.
And the one that this podcast is being recorded on.
Exactly. Apple, people who buy Apples We're not dissing you, we're just saying you guys are overpaying. But you know, that's up to you. Apple's own watch bands, meanwhile, come in 6 different types, with various colors and sizes for each one. Sport band, Milanese loop, classic buckle, leather loop, modern buckle, and link bracelet. Prices range from $49 to $449 freaking dollars.
What?
That's bull!
Dang!
Bull! Bull! I'm sorry. You just jumped. Prospective
Mess with the bull, you get the horns.
Yes. Hey, does Barry Manilow know that you raid his wardrobe? You'll get the answer to that next weekend. Don't mess with the bull, boy. You'll get the horns. I know. If you understand where that came from, awesome. Prospective band developers will have to.
Do you have to be at least over 20 to understand where that came from?
You have to have seen Blue Harvest.
Blue Harvest.
You know, the Family Guy Star Wars.
Oh.
Yeah, that's where that came from.
Okay.
This is off topic, but I really have to get a new lens for my webcam, like this one. I don't know where mine went. It fell out.
Really?
Like the little thing right here with the silver banding.
Is it absolutely required?
It keeps you from getting dust into the camera lens. I'll probably have to make one out of some thin plastic.
Teeny, tiny.
It would be, excuse me. Funny, chips give you burps.
Here's your little extra gas.
Not like Sierra Mist. Ooh, that stuff will give you a... Prospective band developers will have to follow certain rules and regulate... Yeah,
Way to go.
I know. We'll have to follow certain rules and regulations. A band and lugs that lock them into place must pass certain strenuous tests for corrosion, force, and resistance. Oh, today is, May 5th. Revenge of the 5th.
If you don't get that reference, May the 4th be with you, aka yesterday, at the time this is being recorded. And then it's kind of an inside joke if you don't know. If you're not a Star Wars fan, then you probably don't get the reference.
Yeah, May the 4th be with you. May the Force be with you. Revenge of the 5th. Revenge of the Sith. It's a joke.
Instead of having the S there's an F.
Yeah, and it's like, I can just imagine people watching, and you're like, "Do you get the joke?" And you're like, "Do you get it?" Yeah, I get it. I just don't get the joke. Salty. I don't know what that was.
Anyway.
So and you can read the rest of it here. It's on CNET. The article is called "Apple Sets Guidelines for Third-Party Apple Watch Band Developers." You can look that up. Apple did not immediately respond to CNET's request for comment.
If you're using a 1080p monitor, you'll be able to see it just fine.
Basically.
Because I'm running 1366 by 768.
So am I.
But being recorded at 1280 by 720.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Recording it at 1366 by whatever, that'd take a lot of memory.
Not really, because it's being...
Really?
Not really, because it's being compressed.
Huh. Oh, yeah. Apple did not immediately respond to CNET's request for comment. Well, ain't that just peachy? They never do! Neither does Microsoft, so...
Yeah, well, none of these companies can keep their mouths shut over much.
Basically. Let's see.
You're still capturing your screen.
Oh. Yeah, he usually runs it, so I'm not sure. Man,
Yeah, right.
dang, I got a tan. Looking good, buddy. Yay to all the nerds out there. Boom. Let's see. Alright.
You're not sharing.
I don't like to share.
Screen. Boom. Go back to the...
Yeah. Alright. Here's another one on CNET. Android finally inches past iOS in mobile ad sales.
Yay.
Google's mobile
I'm
OS.
starting to see more...
I think Android is going to overtake Apple in a big way pretty soon.
Yeah.
I mean, look at it. An Android can do...
Android is starting to get a little more idiot-proof. I'm just saying. That's just my opinion.
Well,
Keep in mind,
well, you don't use one, so.
I've used Apple.
Oh no, I said Android.
I have an Android phone.
You do? Oh yeah, you do. You used to. Yeah, I do too. You used to have an iPhone.
No, I didn't.
I thought you had an iPod.
I had an iPod, never an iPhone.
Who actually uses iPods anymore?
Children who are under 10.
That's the sad truth, really. That is the sad truth.
Or I should say 10 and under.
10. Give your
That's
three.
what I've seen.
Basically, the iPod is the 3-year-old's iPhone starter.
If you can master an iPod, you're good to go on an iPhone.
And if you can master an iPhone, that's not really saying much. Jeez. Gosh. Anyway,
You can scroll through Facebook, you can make a phone call, you can send a text.
if you know how to use a rotary phone, then you're a master. Google's mobile...
That's what I don't know how to do. I've never known how to
You never have. You know, I'm gonna pause this just for a second. This is tech related. This is tech related. I'm gonna get you a rotary phone. I'm gonna show you how to use one.
This will be interesting.
This will be interesting for the show.
A blast from the past.
Bum.
This will be our snippet of
Let's
history in the technology realm.
Hey, let's call this flashbacks.
Flashbacks
Yeah!
Flashbacks in tech history. Well, first segment of flashbacks in tech history.
Here's this part.
It's useless.
Get back into the screen. Yeah, they have to see somebody.
And why can't it? Wouldn't it be me?
Because nobody likes you.
Lots of people like me. I just don't like you.
Yet your mother and your daddy, and that's still undecided.
Oh.
That sounded like Jay Leno.
Do you have to be 20 to understand that?
No, he's a game show host. He's that guy that owns like almost every freaking amazing car ever. Oh my gosh, I went into the bathroom one morning when my dad was shaving. I saw him and I went, so my dad hadn't shaved for a while, so he like had hair all over. And I went, oh my gosh, Bigfoot! And then I went, I'm gonna be a freaking millionaire! And he's like, get out. Okay.
That was a little off topic, but it'll work.
It was it'll do. It was fun.
Find a rotary phone yet?
Now we had it, and I don't know where we put it. It was when we cleaned the basement. Remember?
Oh, why don't you clean your base? Oh yeah.
You helped, smart one. Patience, young Padawan. Soon you will know the ways of the rotary phone.
Thanks.
What?
Nothing.
I can't find it.
Well, while John looks for his old tech, we'll read the last article.
Without any success.
We'll read the last article.
Can't do that.
So, Android finally inches past iOS in mobile ad sales. Android, Google's mobile operating system, has finally topped Apple iOS in mobile and ad revenue.
Hey there.
According to a report released on Tuesday by MediaWorks. Stats from the report covering the first quarter of 2015 show Android with a share of 45.77% of all revenue generated by advertisements across mobile devices throughout the world. That's right. That number gave Android a narrow lead over iOS, which scored a worldwide share of mobile and revenue of 45.44. Dang, that's like a 33% difference. Or 0.33, excuse me. Math is hard.
33% difference. Dang.
The figure is significant because it marks the first time that Android's mobile ad sales have outstripped those of Apple's iOS, even if only by a fraction. Also, since April 2014, Android has been outgunning iOS in mobile ad traffic.
Dang, you have a
Excuse me.
problem.
It's allergies.
Here it is.
Hey, look at that. Android's current share of traffic is 65.17%, according to Opera MediaWorks, while iOS share is just 22.34%.
I thought you said Oprah at first, and I was like, who talks about
Oprah.
Fat old lady.
So both factors show the rise of Android devices overall, despite the popularity of Apple's iPhone 6 and iPhone 6 Plus. So yeah, there's getting to be more Android device traffic than there is iOS, as you can see in that little. Well, that's a bad idea.
The heck? Oh.
Find it.
Yep. Just getting it all put together.
So yeah, that was our last topic, article-wise for today. John, you got that rotary phone?
Now.
I didn't think so.
Here it is. Hold on. There we go.
I didn't think so.
We don't have a landline in the phone anymore, so we can't really use this. But I have a feeling we're gonna go back to it because it costs a little bit less. Just a tad.
Why?
So
Okay.
So this here's scoot just a little bit, like scoot over on the chair. There you go. Like this is a rotary phone. Okay.
Yes.
This is a rotary phone. Now, Travis, look. When you want to dial somebody, you know how? Here, hold this.
Okay.
Just familiarize yourself. Familiarize yourself.
Okay.
You know how on a standard phone, like if you wanted to dial 911, you'd go 911, and then you'd pick it up. On a rotary phone, you would do it like this. You would find the 9, go all the way around, let go, and when it stopped, you'd go to the 1, wind it, and 1 again. Now if you want to dial, now I'm not going to show this on the screen, if you want to dial my number, you go like this. Like a...
I thought it was a little more complicated
No,
than that.
here, try dialing your number.
Okay.
It takes a while.
This is why they invented speed dial.
In other words, this.
Interesting.
I already dialed my number, and the time it took you to dial it like twice.
I know.
Well, I could have dialed 3 times. So anyway, yeah, that was a flashback.
So yeah, that's flashbacks in tech history.
We need to put that in the description. Say rotary phones.
Right. We'll put a little something in the description that says we dealt with rotary phones today.
We try. Oh my gosh! I just remembered.
What?
So, anyway, so you ever have one of these phone calls from a telemarketer and they say, "Please press 1" or "Please press 2"? Well, on a rotary phone, you're like,
A little obsolete.
crap. You know, I was watching this old Disney cartoon. Donald Duck getting his first computer in the early 90s. He calls up the Acme Computer Company, and they said, "If you need tech support, please press 1. Or, if you can't press 1 because you're still using an old rotary phone, you're a dweeb." I'm not a dweeb. Oh, jeez, that hurt. Now now I know how you feel. Oh. Anyway, that's all the time we have for today.
Yep.
Anyway, so I'm John Hewlett.
And I'm Travis Smith.
Thank you for watching
Tech 95.
Peace out. Boop.